Welcome to the Football Sofa.
Yes.
We've got a new person.
Hello.
Yeah,
Hello.
Darren looks different.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Much
But-
better looking.
Well, modesty.
Take that.
Thoughts about the group stage? They're over.
Yeah.
It's knockout. It's death.
It's death, and it was a good day of death yesterday, I have to say. But I do miss. I missed the raft of games. I really missed the 11 o'clock
Yeah.
game. There was something about that 11 o'clock game that felt special because everyone normal who doesn't like football's gone to bed. It's just you and the TV, which was really cool.
Yeah.
Um,
What about the 2 a.m.er? Did you watch that?
I did, but I was really drunk. So not much of it sunk in. I didn't get a lot of it, but yeah, they're over. But the knockout football is brilliant. Like yesterday, I forgot extra time is a bloody godsend.
Oh, and penalties.
Penalties, sweaty penalties.
Sweaty penalties.
The whole
Squeaky
nation.
bum penalties.
They really were. You could see the whole nation looked like it was about to implode, didn't it?
I thought the Brazil team was about to implode. They
So
literally
did I.
looked like they were going to crack, didn't they?
As a complete neutral when it comes to that game, I don't think I'd ever be more emotionally involved in a penalty shootout.
There was a feeling of like something could go wrong here.
Yeah, it was.
It was nervous.
You just could hear the guns cocking.
You could, yeah.
All around Brazil.
Bricks being picked up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But thankfully, they pulled it off. Thankfully, I don't know. Thankfully for me.
I don't know, from a footballing aspect, I was gutted for Chile, but I think probably thankfully for the.
It's funny because I felt I was supporting Chile during the game, but then when it came to penalties and like that realization that Brazil could go out, I was like, okay, no, actually, we need this for the tournament. We need Brazil.
you need Brazil in the tournament to keep it going, just
Mm.
to stop riots and protests, which so far haven't really happened. Maybe if Brazil were to be knocked out, you'd see more of that.
You would the bad stuff.
And the atmosphere in the stadiums, right?
Yeah.
The fans are still excited. You still get, there's still a vast chunk of those are Brazilian, especially in the European games.
Definitely.
The South Americans, they literally all seem to flock
It's
to
amazing.
Brazil.
It is really amazing.
It's such a good atmosphere.
They bring
isn't it?
great vibe.
Do you know what's really exciting for me? Mexico, Holland. Because the Mexico fans are amazing. They dress up like they really go bananas. But the orange of Holland is perhaps one of the most sort of poignant.
Bold.
And
Yeah,
they're
exactly.
great fans of Dutch. They always have a party and they make themselves known, even if they're only there in small numbers. So.
Do you think they picked orange just because they sort of burn
Standard.
easily? And sort of, you can't really tell, is it? They just put on a bit of, It's,
Yeah, potentially. Ignoring history, yeah.
Yeah, ignoring history. Who do we back in Mexico? Holland? Just out of interest.
I would say, if I were a gambling man, I would say.
And you are a gambling
You are,
I am a
man.
gambling man. Yeah. I'd say Holland, but not in 90 minutes. I think Holland will have the tie, but I think it could be. I think the way the Mexicans. I think Mr. Herrera and Mr. Van Gaal, both brilliant tacticians, and I think they could well neutralise each other long enough for it to go to 120 or penalties.
Do you think the tournament needs Holland to go through? Because on the one hand, we have Brazil, Colombia, Germany, and
France.
and then on the other side of the draw we have Holland, Argentina, and then we have the two sort of less exciting.
Costa Rica
Yeah.
and Greece.
Yeah,
One half of the draw does look much harder than the other.
and you want those bigger teams to go through, though.
You want
don't
those
you?
bigger teams to go through, yeah.
Well, I mean, I think so. It's like the FA Cup. You want like one upset,
You
but
do.
then you don't want a sort of League One team against a Championship team in the final. It's
you
like
don't
no one will
want
watch
to
it.
Portsmouth in the final.
Yeah, exactly.
It would just upset you.
Topher, as an Arsenal fan, are you excited about Joel Campbell?
Yeah, I don't know. I think he's. When I saw him playing in the Champions League for Olympiacos this season, I wasn't that impressed. But no, I think he's been doing a good job for Costa Rica. And for Costa Rica, he's been playing up top, whereas he was more like on the flanks for Olympiacos.
Yeah.
And I think maybe doing a similar job for Giroud would be quite a good backup if no one else gets brought in.
So take out Bentner, put in Joel Campbell,
I'd rather have
title-winning team.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'd much rather have Joel Campbell than Nicholas Bentner, but
It's a squad improvement, definitely.
yeah.
Can we have a little word on Mr. Choo Choo?
Choo choo.
Yes, Mr. Suarez, Mr. Nibbles.
Mm-hmm.
Can I just say, without bias or hatred, the ban is almost too lenient.
Too lenient.
Almost too lenient.
I completely agree on that.
It's just, it's like, he did it once, a naughty boy, second time everyone's discussed it, and then does it a third time. And then and I don't know if it's me, but he's allowed to come out with the world's worst. You know, that I slipped and my tooth landed on him and then my teeth hurt. And,
I think that's what really gets to me. So I personally think just this whole ban of all football activity where he's not allowed to train, he's not allowed to go into the stadium. I think that side of it's excessive. Ban him for as many games as you want, but don't completely ostracise him from his team, because that's just going to make him like sit at home and just get angry and stuff. Is my view. But what really annoys me about it is how completely unrepentant he is.
Yeah, that's really.
Yes, and it's like it's like in court, if someone at least admits they're guilty, you get a bit more lenient.
You do.
But if they keep saying no, I'm innocent.
Yeah,
but it's so clearly not.
Also, that aspect factored into the length of his ban. If you read the judgment, which FIFA have announced, the complete lack of repentance or acknowledgement that he did anything wrong is a factor in the length of the ban. He would have got away with a shorter ban had he said, "I'm very sorry, I was wrong."
How good was that James or James Rodriguez goal?
Yeah, well, another one of those ones that made me just go just like nuts.
It was phenomenal.
It's incredible.
Absolutely brilliant hit.
That sort of chest
instantly
instantly kills it, turns around, but the ball is dropping right in front of him.
And he catches it halfway down the ball and just span it in.
Absolutely perfect.
Yeah, it's just one of those goals which, if you envisage like a perfect example of that, it's how it happened. There've been similar goals. I remember there was a Thierry Henry one a few years ago where he took it with his back to goal on the chest and span round. But I think this Rodriguez goal was better because it looked easier, whereas Thierry Henry had to twist his body and really make it awkward to get the shot off. It was just so simple because that chest was so good.
And the kiss of the cross.
What are we most excited about in the sort of coming up knockout games?
I think a lot of the next round of 16 games there's a clear favourite for them. Whereas Chile,
Except
Brazil,
maybe Costa Rica, Greece.
I think Costa Rica, Greece is going for it. It's a draw again, isn't it?
It's a draw.
It's going to extra time. Let's be honest.
That'll be like the complete opposite for me, anyway, of Brazil, Chile, where that sort of penalties I was so tense.
Yeah.
If that goes to penalties, Greece, Costa Rica, I'll be like, yeah.
Go on then.
I mean,
can Greece sit back in penalties?
if any team can find a way to do that, it will be Greece.
It's really funny, that last game where they had to come out and score a couple of goals to go through. They actually looked quite decent going forward. I mean, they rattled the crossbar twice. They hit the post once, I think. Karagounis still sauntering forward. It was actually quite nice to see them come out and play. But I think we know in this second game that won't happen.
How is Karagounis still alive?
I mean,
do you know what's quite
people
funny?
die older. Don't they?
This World Cup, you have Marquez and you have Yepes, who are both.
Yepes was brilliant yesterday, wasn't he?
Like late 30s and still playing at a very high level. I think. And Pirlo as well, who maybe not.
But isn't it amazing? You have like all these players just like dying from cramp, and then you have 38-year-old Yepes.
Unbelievable. He was last night. It was just. And also his game smarts. The number of times he wound people up, he managed to wind up Uruguayans, which was excellent.
Forlan.
I'm amazed that didn't kick off.
Yeah, Forlan was not a happy boy, was he?
They were going to have like some Latino battle.
They were. Forlan looks more and more like Sally Gunnell the more I look at him. Calm down, Sally.
Oh, Sally Gunnell.
No, it's good. It was brilliant. But yeah, Yepes was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Marquez at the back for Mexico again, another old man doing a brilliant job. It's very, very, very good to see. And we have a cat.
Who are our favourites at the moment?
It's impossible to say, isn't it?
I think the winner of the Brazil-Colombia tie got to be quite heavily fancied to go to make it through their next game. I think South American sides. Still, Argentina, Colombia, Brazil would probably be my.
I think Colombia have earned their sort of everyone's like second team, haven't they?
Yeah.
And because so many people have gone out in Europe, a lot of people's first team.
Yeah, true.
But I still wonder when they come up against.
I think I'll end for them. I see where you're going. I really think that game against Brazil is a road too far. I just had I think they played brilliantly. I think they're a great side. I just had a gut instinct that I think it's just one test too far.
Although I'm very excited to see Cuadrado and James Rodriguez and the space left by Marcelo and Dani Alves.
I know. It's so true.
That's going to be.
It's absolutely insane. The amount. It's very strange to have Cuadrado moves it very right angly. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It turns very like
But that's why it
on a
works.
point on a
He's
pivot.
just-
They're brilliant.
He's such an exciting player.
He is.
Someone was saying yesterday he's like sort of a young, not quite as good, but better than everyone else, Ronaldinho. The way he sort of is always like wiggling as he runs. So which way am I going to go?
Kind of like a wind up toy.
Yeah, he's like, "Ooh."
Yeah, no, he's quality. Yeah, I didn't think. To be honest with you, you're right. At fullback, they're going to hopefully Big Phil has got a master plan to. Well, I say that.
But
Outrage.
with Neymar looking like he might not be fit for that game with a thigh strain.
Is that what that was? Because he was
Yeah.
pulling about, wasn't he, for a while?
Yeah.
I mean, didn't stop him taking the penalty, but
Yeah.
It's fine because they've got
Ice.
Fred and Joe. So.
Fregi.
Fredgy. I just, having grown up with the plethora where like basically every other team in Europe has a Brazilian striker, how do Brazil not have someone better than Fred and Joe?
I have no idea.
It's just crazy, isn't it?
I think Alex Pato and Adriano should have been filling those voids, and they both just completely.
Or even
felt
Robinho.
about it.
or-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a case to put Hulk up front? It doesn't really matter because
I-
Scolari won't. But
No, I actually agree. It was really funny when Dani Alves outed Alan Shearer as being a. What did he call him? He called him an idiot.
a Geordie twat.
But along the lines of a Geordie twat. And I was like, I've been waiting for someone to say that for a long time, but you actually have said it once. When Alan Shearer was right, you've called him a twat. The other 99 times. Yeah, I mean, completely right. Fred does not offer anything really at all.
It's such.
Very little.
You just think it's such a shame that Diego Costa acted like a twat himself.
Yeah.
If only
Yeah.
he'd.
If he'd gone for Brazil, it's just.
Even like inept Diego Costa in his Spanish form would have
At least he
been
runs
better
around a
than
bit.
Fred and Joe. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but isn't even slightly off the bandwagon Alex Pato better than Fred? I don't really understand.
Anyone is better than Fred. I mean,
Can,
he's just,
but can Pato, can he last a game without falling apart?
Well,
It's-
this is true.
if you make him one of your 23, is that just wasting the spot? Because you know you're going to play him in the first game,
That's-
and then he's
that's
going to be
very
gone
it's a
from the
valid
tournament.
point. What are we going to miss most from the group stage?
I'm going to miss Italy. You're probably going to miss Portugal.
I am going to miss Portugal.
I just have a question on this one. Maybe it opens to everyone. How long did it take you? It took me 2 days before I stopped being angry about it. Are you?
Well, you may have noticed that we've waited a while to do another episode. It's in part because I was not in any state to talk about football.
It's really annoying, isn't it?
The way I've coped is basically I've researched the hell of every like 16 to 21-year-old Portuguese player. To look at right, what's our
The
hopes?
future.
So what's the future?
And
And actually, it looks quite promising. There's actually a few people who arguably should have been on the plane this time.
have you got number 9 coming from anywhere?
We've only got Nelson, really, who had a good 10
24.
games for Rennes and then got injured and then never quite.
Mm.
But I know this sounds crazy. I'm keen to see how it pans out,
Go on.
but
Can't even give a straight face.
Bebe has had an amazing season. He honestly, he has had an amazing season. I'm keen to see. I'm keen to see what happens.
Straws.
No. So apparently, Gaetan, Benfica's
Yeah,
left
yeah.
winger, is on his way to Old Trafford.
Okay,
So there's a lot of press about that in Portugal,
sure.
and Bebe is going to be part of the deal to take him back. I'm keen to see what happens if you put him in a big team. He's grown up. Remember, he had never played professional
Sure.
football when he went to United. All those little things that you're taught to do, like that, just second nature.
Okay.
But he's generally had a great season, so I'm keen to see can he.
You know we're being filmed.
This is embarrassing.
This in the morning. He's not even had a drink.
I know.
Okay.
This
Well,
is how desperate I am.
No, to be fair, it's an interesting one. He has, I mean, the little YouTube bits I've seen, and he scored some interesting stuff. I once made a bet with a friend that he'd score more goals than Giroud, and so I had faith in him once. But yeah, it's a bit strange. I was going to say to you though, as a non-Portuguese person watching that game, Ronaldo's attitude and mood when he could have scored 3, 4, or 5, but he looked like he really, really didn't believe it and didn't care, couldn't care less. A couple of strikes, he hacked them with such lethargy. I was thinking, actually, if you hit that like you normally hit things, you'd be 4-1 up.
If
Yeah,
they'd
it's-
scored all the chances
Yeah.
they had, particularly that last 10 minutes,
Oh,
they would be in
Well,
the group.
no, I mean, so what you had was a combination of an utterly morale-sapping defeat in the first game, a sort of lethargic performance in Manaus in the second game,
Not to be.
and he was just a beaten man. And the truth is, he was injured. Apparently, the word is he's not going to play in the Super Cup in August for Spain. I mean, for Real. The guy wasn't at 100%.
No, that's very true.
And morale wasn't at 100%. If you think about a player being a combination of those two, like he was just well below.
It's just a shame from your captain, though. I mean, completely. Don't get me wrong. Injury.
But it's when you have you have your sort of Roy Keane type captains who are there to G people, and then you have the captains who are just the best player on the team.
Captain. But that's kind of like schoolboy, isn't it?
Yeah, but he wasn't there. He just wasn't there this World Cup.
I think in the past, Ronaldo has been able to play both those roles. He has been.
Yeah, definitely. Think about the
figurehead of performance
yeah.
and also personality of the team. And whereas you can accept that maybe he wasn't fit, and so therefore his performance might drop off. It shouldn't stop that personality aspect.
I think it was too much for him. He could just see it all going wrong. I'm already excited about the quarterfinals with Brazil-Colombia.
That'd be brilliant.
That game alone is enough for me to be excited about.
I can't wait to have an anthem off.
Anthem off. James versus Neymar. The two 21-year-olds of South American football. Someone said that James Rodriguez could be the next sort of Ronaldo, Messi type player. The only problem is he has a crap name. I think that's really picking hairs, or splitting hairs rather. But yeah, I'm excited. We'll be back soon.
Yes.
Thank you, Topher, for joining in.
My pleasure.
And yeah.
Yeah.
Comments below, let us know what you're excited about, and then see you later. Bye.
Bye.
We're still a little bit sad, can you tell? There's just a little bit, isn't there?
The levels dropped.
Italy's gone out, Portugal's gone out, England's gone out.
Yeah.
It's fine, we've got Colombia. Enjoy.